I'd like to call this meeting of the Marion County Board of Education to order. Let us stand for pledge allegiance. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You may be seated.
At this time, we'd like to ask Judge John G. Marion to come forward and recognize our board members, as January is Board Member Recognition Month.
Thank you, Superintendent Slosser, members of the board. This is a little bit different than the way the wording usually is. I think in the past it's been kind of just a template and kind of a standard. This is a little more personal, and I like the wording. It says, "To whom all these presents shall come," whereas ours is a community that values a quality education as a vital step along the pathway to success for our children, whereas Michael Mullins, Delane Pinkston, Bernard Miles, Mike Cecil, and Butch Cecil contribute greatly to this community through their service on the Marion County Board of Education, whereas these decision makers are responsible for maintaining strong, effective budgetary oversight, high standards for employment, and a safe, well-managed set of school facilities, whereas the men we have given this responsibility to are serving our community with integrity, honor, and a commitment to our children's futures. Whereas January 2014 marks Kentucky's observation of their contributions through Kentucky School Board Recognition Month. Therefore, I, John G. Marion, County Judge Executive, do hereby proclaim the month of January throughout this community as School Board Member Recognition Month, and urge all citizens to honor Michael Mullins, Delane Pinkston, Bernard Miles, Mike Cecil, and Butch Cecil for their service. I think you all have a copy of this, and this needs to hang in a place of honor, as it always does every month of January. We met in January. I didn't have that document yet, but we are going to go ahead and acknowledge that at this board meeting on Thursday, even though we'll be happy to month. It's worth going back and reminding people of, and we do as a county and government appreciate our partnership with you all and the success and quality of life that you contribute to here in Marion County.
And we appreciate the partnership we have with you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And what I would like to do at this time is just present a book to the board members, and I'm sure the administrators will remember this, but at the beginning of the year I read the book, Dream, and it does have just a little short quote on the back that I would just like to read, and it talks about, it says, "Be a dreamer, from the smallest personal beginnings to the largest human triumphs. Why are we here if not to dream? As you open this dream chest, you are whisked away on a colorful journey of a lifetime in which the young discover all the possibilities of themselves, and adults are reminded that their best is just ahead. Remarkable illustrations, inspiring quotations, beautiful stories revealed in each reading. A celebration of living and dreaming. This is a book to treasure, to share, and to give as a gift for everyone at any age who dreams." And I felt like that was very appropriate as we start our journey on Dream, Believe, and Achieve. Thank you all very much.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all.
Very nice. And we'll have our superintendent's report at this time.
Thank you, Mr. Pinkston. Our superintendent's report, I always start out with leadership because I believe that's our number one goal, whether it's from myself or from each of you and the leadership that you provide, as well as the leaders in this office throughout the district and in the community. And just like to remind everyone of December, we talked about our school improvement plans and our district improvement plans, and we talked about that our goals were that all students would graduate college and career ready, that students would be on math and reading level, and that we would have no novice. Just as a reminder that that's the leadership that we're providing. I want to start out by talking about as normal teaching and learning. That's one of our focuses, and we are going to continue this semester, second semester, talking about intentional planning. And when I say intentional planning, I'm not just talking about teachers providing lesson plans. Yes, we want teachers to provide lesson plans, but as administrators and as principals, it's our job as well to intentionally plan. And our principals are working right now on intentionally planning for professional learning communities. I have a professional learning communities plan for the second semester for our administrators. We're also intentionally planning for individual student interventions, also student engagement and curriculum and assessment, keeping in mind what our goals are, which is all students college and career ready, all students on grade level for reading and math, and no novice. So we're just going to keep doing all the things that we've talked about first semester. There's not going to be any new initiatives, intentional planning, compass learning, Kagan learning strategies, keeping student engagement high, and of course always focusing on the standards, the curriculum, the what. Because at the end of these next, I actually don't have my days counted down, but I think we have about, I think we're on day 91. Our kids going to be ready for that next grade level or for that next subject level. Excited about today, we had a group of staff from the central office, Ms. Newcomb and Mr. Farmer, accompanied a group of high school staff to Franklin Simpson High School, a little bit, about 15 minutes past Bowling Green. They are a high school that a year ago was labeled persistently low achieving. They are currently in the top 3% of high schools in the state of Kentucky. And one of the reasons I wanted our high school to go is because the demographics are very similar to Marion County High School. And there's no reason that we should not, at our high school, be the top 3%. And so I'm excited about what their plan's going to be so that someday we can say the same thing about our high school. Because if our high school's in the top 3%, think about the education that our kids are going to be receiving at the high school. On one of our snow days, Ms. Newcomb led a group of Algebra 2 teachers from the high school with some curriculum work to really focus in to make sure that the kids were going to be prepared for the Algebra 2 end of course assessment. And as you all know, every student that graduates from a high school in Kentucky is required to have Algebra 2 to graduate. Every high school student. That started in 2012. So we're excited about that work, and we will have some results to share with you in the future. Common assessment, we've done some work with that. Ms. Newcomb will be sharing that toward the end of this month because that's more of a content-specific data that we can share, whereas tonight, when she shares map data, that's going to be more of a norm reference assessment that we talk about. But we are working on those kinds of things, and teachers were really excited. In fact, she and I were together yesterday, and we received a phone call from the high school, and the English department at the high school said, if you did this work with the math department, can we do the same work? So it's really nice when we have staff that call our office to say, we want to do the same thing. We're excited about that. And again, they came in on a snow day to do that work. We are planning on at least 2 learning walks and facility walks throughout the district next year. We completed 21 learning walks last semester, if you'll recall, so we're excited about that. We're also excited that our Leadership Now group, if you'll remember, we recognized those folks at the last board meeting. They will be meeting next Wednesday. We'll have a guest speaker come in. They really enjoyed their last meeting. And the way that worked is we spent half of the time actually in a training session, and then the second half of the session, they actually went to all the schools. We had 10 folks, and we have 10 administrators. They were assigned to a principal, and they spent the rest of the day with that principal. And it was a very eye-opening experience for each one of them, especially if you're a high school teacher and you're dismissing an elementary group of students from for bus duty. That's a lot different. And so they were very excited for that. Then they came back and reflected on what they had learned from the day. And they found both experiences very valuable. And so we have days planned throughout the semester to continue that, because obviously we want to grow leadership. And that doesn't necessarily mean that you're looking at growing someone into a principal, but when we say leadership, that could be serving on a site-based council. That could be just leading a grade level team or a content level team. But you know, it takes leaders in every aspect of this organization for us to grow. So we're excited about that. For high expectations, we've met several times already in this office and once at group as principals, and one of the things we continue to talk about is just that customer service. And what does customer service look like in this office, at the school level, the customer service that we provide to students. Just that, you know, we want to reach out to our customers, and our customers are students, staff, and the community. And as an organization, we want to provide we want to listen to them and help them and provide what it is they're looking for to make Marion County a great place to live. Just an update on the professional growth and effectiveness system. Our district is participating in a district-led cadre. So as I've talked to you about, we have a pilot group here in the district, just a sample of teachers and administrators that are participating. And so this Thursday, we will come together and it'll give those teachers and those administrators an opportunity to talk about what it is that we're doing, any questions that they have, and they will actually learn from one another and share their experiences. Because as of now, we have been told that the new effectiveness system will be in place next year for all staff. So, you know, when we talk about leadership, what we're hoping is that this small cadre of people will serve as leaders in the building next year as we implement this. And this will serve as the new evaluation system for teachers and for principals and for superintendents. So we're working through that. We're already beginning conversations about professional development planning for this summer and throughout the year, and also our district-wide work days. If you'll recall, we had 3 days this year. We're going to do 3 of those days next year. You know, what we're looking at is that first day would probably just be our legal requirements, all the things that we're required to do. Then we're looking at a data day where we actually do the data analysis and look at that as a district, so that we can do that on a day and teachers aren't staying after school. And then we're hoping to do another Kagan Day, which would be another day where teachers learn strategies to keep students engaged, and that was a really big hit with the teachers, so we're excited about that. Red Book training. We're sending a group of folks tomorrow to Corbin, Kentucky to a Red Book training. And we will have additional training this summer, which goes along with some of the things we've been talking about with our special audit committee. And Mr. Cecil's on the committee with myself and Lisa and Mr. Mullins. We've met once. We do plan to meet again. The winter weather and the Christmas break have kept us a little, you know, it's been hard to meet when there's maybe ice on the road, but we'll plan on meeting again, I'm sure, very soon. Mr. Cecil, do you want to say anything about that work?
No.
Okay, so we
I
will.
mean, the only thing I can say, I mean, we've only met one time, so, and there's been a lot of information given, so we're still looking at all the information.
And we'll keep everyone posted with that, and I'll keep you posted with that. And the last thing I'll talk about is communication. You know, that's one of our focuses. And basically, I'm waiting to hear back from Debbie Powers about when a good time would be for us to begin that process of a strategic plan. And as we're talking about a strategic plan, that would be, what do we want as a community? You know, the decisions we make today will impact the people that are sitting in these seats 10 years from now. And that's why it's so important to have a strategic plan. Where do we want to be? What is our long-term goal? And then what we have to do for a strategic plan is, you know, what is it going to take to get there? You know, if you go back over to the map that we've got lined up over here on the wall, when we talk about a college and career readiness timeline, and we'll talk about success criteria, And that success criteria starts at birth. And what does that look like when a child graduates college and career ready? You know, if we're really going to do this, this is going to take everyone working together, and that's why strategic planning would involve everyone in the community. So I'm really excited about that work. I'd like to welcome Mr. Todd Farmer as Director of Federal Programs at Central Office. He's been on board. And he's still here after he's heard of all the things that he has to do. Hopefully we're providing him the support. Mr. Farmer, do you have anything you'd like to share?
I'm just thrilled to be here, and we're out what's best for the kids here in Marion County. So I hope that I can impact them in a positive way like I did the principal.
Thank you. Also, Ms. McRae has a meeting, but I'd also like to welcome her as the interim principal at Lebanon Middle School. She does have a meeting in Campbellsville and will be here as soon as she can get here. The middle school decided to wait until the end of the school year to select a principal. Their target hire date is May 1, and the principal will begin effective July 1. So their hope is, you know, it's in the middle of the year. They felt like it would be hard for folks to get out of their contract. So Ms. McRae is someone they wanted at the middle school. I feel like that's a good fit, and I'll be working with Mr. Abel with the vacancy at the high school. Preschool and kindergarten registration, which we all know how important early learning is, but preschool and kindergarten registration will be January the 24th. In the event there's no school, then it'll be January the 31st. And obviously, we want as many kids as possible in preschool that qualify, and also we want everyone we can in kindergarten. We know how important that is. Just wanted to update everyone on the industrial maintenance teacher. As you all remember, the good news was that we had actually been given that position back through the state. Mr. Barton had several folks apply, and he's actually interviewing tomorrow. And there's a committee together that actually includes local industry, some folks from the ATC, this office, and Mr. Barton. And so we'll have an industrial maintenance teacher there. And we know that that's something the community wants. When we talk about customer service, you know, we have a lot of factory jobs here. 85% of the jobs in Marion County come from factory work. And one of the things they are begging for is industrial maintenance. And it's our job as a school system to support what our community is doing in that industrial maintenance position. And I do want to thank Jimmy Higdon and Terry Mills for their support on that. I know they were instrumental in working with the folks in Frankfurt to see that that position got back. I mean, there's only a certain amount of money out there in the state, and I know that they work for that. I'm sure a lot of people there's probably a lot more people I need to say thank you to with that. But, you know, that's one of those things that if we're going to work together as a community, we know that's a need. You know, we all work together with that.
Well, I'd just like to add what you're saying. John said here, you know, I think all the different bodies working together in this county really helps. And I think when Jimmy and them go forward, they have a lot of support, you know, where all the entities are working together. We appreciate that.
Better or worse, we do talk to each other.
And not every community has that kind of working relationship with the school, the area tech center, the county government, the city government, and your state representative and your state senator. So not every community is as fortunate as we are. And ultimately, the community and our kids benefit from that. So thank you. Obviously, the winter weather's here. As we all know, we've missed 3 days of school, plus we had our day that we used for campus learning. So currently, we're looking at the last day of school being May the 22nd, which is a Thursday. That same week is an election day. We can't use that day, to my knowledge, but I may be wrong, but right now it looks like that's a day we cannot use as a makeup day. So that is May the 22nd. So, you know, I'd really like to recommend that we look at going ahead and using that February the 17th makeup day to get a day in, because you never know. We could have another frigid cold spell, or, you know, we could have a water line break in April. We could have flooding. You never know what that gets into, and, you know, I know that Everyone wants to have graduation before Memorial Day. Everyone looks at spring break as something we don't want to touch. But again, that really just depends on the weather. It depends on how many snow days we have to deal with. And another good point of having the the February 17th day is all of our juniors are taking the ACT in March. I think we have 52 days left until the ACT. And then we also have our seniors and juniors taking our skill standards assessment. So that would be another day of instruction that we would get in before those kids take those assessments. I do want to talk about child count again. I talked about that at the last board meeting, but child count for special ed basically is what it is. It's how many students will be in the special education program for the next school year. In Marion County, the enrollment has decreased by 40. And that could be to students testing out, students graduating, the interventions working, and that's a good thing, but it also does mean that with a decreased number of students, that will be a decrease in staff. So I just wanted to remind folks, and I know that Ms. Urban has sent the numbers out to their staff and they're aware of that, so we should anticipate that that's going to be some staff reduction because of special education decrease in enrollment. And obviously, we will continue to work on what staffing allocation is going to look like. We've already met one time in this office to look at what that's going to be for all the schools. And then the last thing I'll end with is just like I said earlier when I thanked the community for helping us with industrial maintenance teacher. This month on the board agenda, we have a donation from the Puzzle from Autism and the Marion County Safe Community Coalition. They've donated some items to our district, and I just wanted to publicly say thank you for that. Again, all of us working together makes a big difference in ensuring that students' dreams come true. Any questions?
Thank you. Very thorough report.